Hello, everybody, and welcome back to audio fan commentary. This time, back on my channel.
After an extended absence.
Yes, after an unfortunate extended absence that was out of my control. I'm back hosting, giving Jack a break from hosting, and today we are commentating on the 2018 reboot of Tomb Raider, directed by Roar Uthaoug, I think that's how you say his name, and starring Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. So, I'm here with Jack once again, and yeah, it's recently come out on DVD and Blu-ray, so if you have the DVD or Blu-ray, feel free to follow along with us, put your timestamp to 0, and then, yeah, enjoy. This is non-profit commentary, this is not for financial gain, we are just doing this as fans, just commentating on what we see. So if you want to join us, then feel free. Is there anything else you want to say, Jack, before we start?
Let's read that tune, bitch.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Play. Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. MGM logo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just about. For some reason, quiet. I don't know why, but you're. I don't know whether it's you or whether it's the computer.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
I mean, this is a very interesting opening to the film.
Yeah. It's interesting how they decided to go back to kind of the Japanese ancient history, and it's kind of like to do with myths and legends, which I quite like. In a way, departing from the Angelina Jolie films, which are more action adventure, this is more, for me, survival adventure, which I like.
I mean, what's interesting about this film is that it's based off the reboot games. Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah. And I think it actually benefits from being that. Wow! I mean, I'm going to say this just to get out of the way. Alicia Vikander is fucking sexy. There's no other way to say it. She's so hot. I mean, she did so much training for this film, and it really shows. I mean, Michael Fassbender's her husband, and my goodness me, he's a lucky man.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely say she's fit in this scene.
I like that in a way that this is kind of like Lara Croft Begins. It's like her origin story, how she sort of becomes the Tomb Raider in a sense. Because in the Angelina Jolie movies, that was already pre-established. It's nice that this one kind of made her almost young and naive, and kind of like she had to kind of discover a lot about her father in order to sort of become herself, really.
Yeah. I mean, I really think of Alicia Vikander. You know, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think she's great as Lara Croft. I mean, she's so dedicated to the role, and like you said, I mean, she's hot. She's everything you need to be, if you're gonna be Tomb Raider, and I mean, it's interesting they kind of revived this franchise, like rebooted it after the Angelina Jolie films, because I mean, this came out, you know, it came out earlier this year, and you know, it was. I mean, watching this, I was actually surprised by how good it was. I mean, it's kind of a shame that this film didn't do that well at the box office. Like, because I mean, I would like to see a sequel to this. I mean, they may still do a sequel, but I'd rather see a sequel to this than. I mean, Angelina Jolie got a sequel, so I don't see why Alicia Vikander doesn't get one.
Yeah, it's a shame, but we'll see. I mean, this is almost a very kind of. It was a different film to what I expected to get. I mean, for a video game movie, this is actually quite a grounded film, which is surprising.
Yeah.
And it's interesting seeing Lara Croft as like just an ordinary London girl. She's kind of she's just a commoner. We've never really seen that side of her in the games. Well, certainly I don't think we have anyway.
I mean, I found it strange when we first watched it. When I first watched it, I thought, wait, is Lara Croft like working class in this? Like, what's going on? I mean, and then we find out that she is actually wealthy and like upper class or whatever. But you know, she wants to basically make her own money. She doesn't want to inherit money. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I like the fact that it is grounded. It's not just a, you know, action for the sake of action video game movie. Like, I think the director Roar Uthaoug, whatever, like, he does a good job. And I mean, one thing I will say about this film is, and I wish the Angelina Jolie films did as well, is use the actual Tomb Raider theme, like, from the games. Like, I would prefer that to, like, the
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack is definitely one of the weak links of this film. But I mean, I'm instantly drawn to Alicia Vikander. I mean, Angelina Jolie is still hot, but for me, Alicia Vikander, she's gorgeous. You know, I think she's actually a better actress, but Angelina Jolie's still very talented in her own right. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but like you said, this is more based off the reboot games, whereas the Angelina Jolie films were more based off the original games. So there's two very different distinctions there.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. I mean, I've played all the Tomb Raider games. I'm a big fan of the original games, like, which actually British made the original games. And of course, the Angelina Jolie films are based off the original Tomb Raider games. This is based off the reboot by Square Enix, like Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Oh, it's kind of a mix of both of these films and kind of a new plot to it as well. But I mean, I like the fact that we get, you know, sort of that we get character development of Lara here. Like, you know, she's hanging out with these like guys, you know, and this is a cool scene, the bike chase.
Yeah. Ladies first. This is quite a cool scene.
See standers.
Good to see Ian Beale around the corner.
Or Max.
I think they must have actually gone to London to shoot this. In a way, it's kind of interesting to see her as like a teenage rebel, because before it feels to me like, in comparison to the Angelina Jolie films, a very different character. She's not as cold and emotionless as Angelina Jolie. In fact, she's actually the opposite. She's very emotional and she's quite naive. She doesn't really know a lot at this point. I think as she goes on, it's almost her coming of age story, really. That's how I see it. And I think people underestimate her character journey in this film. They say, oh, it's a video game movie, so they just write it off. Or, I think they should give it a chance, really.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's definitely, there's a lot more, I'd say. I mean, I think, you know, when this film came out, it actually got pretty good reviews. I mean, it got 50% or whatever in Rotten Tomatoes. So, you know, for a video game movie, that's quite good, actually, because usually video game movies only get like 20-30%. But I mean, it's a shame that the audiences didn't go to see it. I mean, I think it's because it came out after Black Panther, like a few weeks after Black Panther, and that was a huge box office success.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting that she is more emotional here because this is, well, in the game she's quite emotional, in the reboot game, and also because the stuff with her father. I like the relationship here between her dad and in the film. It's actually quite a good part of the movie.
And I think it's actually better than how it was done in the previous two films of Angelina Jolie. It's because they actually develop it more. I mean, the difference only in those films was obviously John Voight is actually Angelina Jolie's real father. So that was still cool and it still meant something. But for this, they actually develop it, and I like all the little flashbacks of when Lara's a young girl and he kisses her on the head and he calls her Sprout. I think that's really cute. That's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff here with Anna. I mean, in the game, I kind of knew she was going to be the bad guy because I played the games. But I mean, what's interesting here is Anna in the movie is English. In the game, she's actually American. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I kind of like the fact that Lara is a kind of a rebel. You know, she's kind of, you know, doesn't really want to accept her destiny. Like, she doesn't want to accept the inheritance because, you know, she wants to make it on her own and like. Yeah.
And obviously, apparently in the games, this woman turns out to be not who she appears to be.
Yes, she's a bitch.
I guess in the film, it kind of makes sense that she's English because it would be a bit odd if she was American and just was in England. Well, I mean, it's probably just a bit more accurate, but I mean, who knows? I don't know the games as well as you do.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of prefer the fact that she's English. Like, um, I mean, it makes, like you said, it makes more sense. But I mean, it's also interesting as well because in the reboot games, Lara doesn't have the sort of dual pistols or whatever that she had in the original games. I mean, she kind of has a similar look, but like the Lara in the original games is like in her 30s. This is like the Lara like who's in her early 20s. So it's like, yeah, like you have Batman Begins. This is like Tomb Raider Begins or something like that.
Hmm. And I like Dominic West as her dad. I think he makes a good part. Obviously, we see a lot more of him in the second half of the film, but I think the scenes he has are very good and very emotional. I was surprised actually how emotional this film really was.
Yeah. I mean, I also like the shots here of Croft Manor. Kind of reminds me of the Croft Manor from the original games. Um, and this is a nice scene where he's like giving her this necklace or bracelet, whatever. Well, necklace, like it's quite nice. You know, it's sort of.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting how the relationship began because he's always going off on his expeditions and she doesn't really see him very much. I guess she's quite a lonely character, which is sad because her mum's dead and her dad was always off and now presumed dead. So she's kind of she doesn't feel like she has anybody. She has all this inheritance, you know, she has the manor and everything, but it's, you know, that doesn't mean anything to her at this point. She wants her dad. She wants she wants a family.
It's only money. I like this scene. I mean, she does the English accent very well as well, Alicia Vikander.
Yeah, she does actually. You're right. Because I mean, originally she's from Sweden, so I think it's what whoever hasn't seen this film. But
Derek Jacobi, the master.
yeah, he makes a nice cameo in this film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's if.
Yeah. Oh, Chinese puzzle box.
Yes.
I mean, I like the fact that this film, it's not just a dumb action movie. I mean, like the original Tomb Raider film, like, I mean, it has enjoyable parts to it, but there are a lot of like stupid scenes in it, like the opening scene with the robots.
Yeah.
Like, and some of the action is just kind of there for the sake of it, like when Lara's hanging from the ceiling and then those like guys come in.
Yeah, I think with those two films, they were trying to be more like female Indiana Jones. I think they're kind of that's what kind of struck me. I mean, with this, it's much more of a drama, I think, than an action movie. It's more emotional drama. It's more of a hardcore survival movie. There's various different aspects to this, which are great. I mean, it gets sort of like Indiana Jonesy with that color puzzle, but I mean, there is action in the film, but I mean, other than those bits, it's very different, and I appreciate the direction of this film. I think it's well directed. I mean, it's not a masterpiece or anything. I'm not saying that. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. It's still got problems, but it's, for my money, this is the best Tomb Raider movie and the best video game movie so far.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's the best Tomb Raider movie, and it's the best video game movie I've seen. Like, I mean, the thing is as well is that what was I gonna say? I think the Angelina Jolie films are trying to. I think they've just played the games. They decided let's have action for the sake of it. But this actually, it focuses more on the film and the story, the drama. So that's what makes it better. Like in my opinion, is because it's not just like, oh, let's just have some action in there for the sake of it. And I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like it's kind of interesting how she solves this puzzle like quite quickly, but
that was easy.
Yeah.
Daddy's been keeping secrets from you.
Daddy wanna fuck you.
Silly daddy.
I mean, it's funny in Croft Manor in the video games has all these like secret like passageways and stuff within the mansion, so it's kind of cool here.
Secret lab.
We're already 20 minutes in. It's gone by quite fast. We're already 20 minutes in.
Oh shit! Yeah, it has gone quickly. 18 minutes. I mean, it's only 2 hours long as well. It doesn't stretch itself out too long. I think it's actually a lot shorter than The Cradle of Life, which was just about 10 minutes longer, I think.
Yeah, I mean, out of the two Jolie films, I prefer that to the first one.
Yeah, Cradle of Life is a little bit better than the first one, in my opinion.
I think it's because they developed the characters more, like Gerald Butler and that.
Yeah, I mean, it was decent, you know. A Sprout. Aww. Yeah. I bet the irony is she doesn't like Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. One thing I will say is, like, how does that camera... Oh, she must have charged it.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of interesting because in the video games, like, her dad's trying to, like, find a way of bringing back her mother as well.
Oh. Look at her eyes, Alicia Vikander's eyes. I think a lot of her emotion is in her eyes, and like just some of her expressions completely tell you how she's feeling, which I think is very good. I mean, Angelina Jolie was different. She was just so cold, like there wasn't much emotion there. All she had to do was do a British accent.
I think because Lara in the original games is a lot colder, because of, well, because she's an older person and not kind of like James Bond. But I mean, Alicia Vikander's, you know, she's very good at expressing the emotion because, I mean, she's an Oscar-winning actress. I mean, like, she was in The Danish Girl with Eddie Redmayne or something like that.
Oh, Dad loves you.
Fuck off, grasshopper.
I think so far this year, out of this year, this is probably the most underrated film I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, I think I enjoyed it even more the second time I saw it. And yeah, and it's interesting as well, like the Japanese mythology and stuff.
Himiko.
This is the place. July 29th, 2011. I finally found the captain.
Oh yes, that. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. That's how she finds Lu Ren, who's the her Chinese ally. Hong Kong. Also, we have a cameo performance from Nick Frost, who's in this film for some reason. Whatever.
Oh yeah, Nick Frost.
Yeah, he makes a surprise cameo in this film. I think he's quite good in his scene, actually. Sometimes Nick Frost can be kind of samey, but I think he's reined himself in a little bit with this.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like him as this Cockney spinster guy. This is your lucky day. Just naturally charismatic. He's like, I was flirting.
Huh.
Right, well, who's to say we're in position? That's all I have. It's a shame, it's a terrible feeling for a young one. Alright, fair enough. Right now. Well, people come in I'm here trying to dead that shit all the time.
Dead dad shit.
Bastard.
I'm happy to keep it. Now the point to say. The justifications.
Taters. Hong Kong.
It's hot coffee.
Why is this woman so beautiful?
Alicia Vikander's hot coffee.
This is it.
I mean,
This is when we first encounter Lou Ren, who becomes Lara's kind of main ally during the film.
much usually I do Kylo Ren.
Lol. It's one of the Knights of Ren. Ugh.
I like the fact that she has the outfit from the games as well.
Yeah. And she kind of, I think she wears that for the rest of the film, I think.
Yeah.
Muggers! It's a pretty cool chase sequence.
Chinese bastards are gonna pay.
You don't mess around.
He's just hanging around. I mean, it's impressive how dedicated Alicia Vikander was for the role in this film.
Yeah. She really worked out for this film.
Yeah.
What a dive.
I wouldn't mind being in a
Headlock to her.
yeah.
She's a tough broad. Why you don't nick her bag? Run away!
She's a pussy.
I said the film is impressively shot.
Whoa.
Lou Ren, where are you? Whoa!
Knights of Ren.
There he is. He's drunk again. Bugger off.
What are you doing on the boat?
I'm not them. I'm looking for a man.
Congratulations, you found me. Now get lost.
Wait,
Rude.
just listen. I need to.
Okay, let's go.
I need to make any trouble.
Keep walking.
Please, put the gun down and just. My father, Richard Trump, tried to buy a boat.
Not me.
New friend.
Yes. The same as my father's, and he wrote that, not me.
Well, then I need to talk to him.
But 100 other people here. I know. Okay. He just left on his book. And it was all right.
This is 7 years ago.
Huh.
I think I know what.
Alicia Vikander looking very good.
Still drunk.
I would do her.
Tell me about it.
I know what.
6,000.
I have a map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Oh fuck! Not over the Explorer. I'm the twat. I'm the twat. I'm the twat.
That was funny. Swiper, no swiping.
Oh god. Postman twat.
Postman twat. Postman twat and his red and white tat.
Postman twat. Postman twat. Postman twat and his black and white scat.
I could understand if people did find the film a bit slow. I mean, it is a slowly paced film, but I don't think it's too slow.
I think it's been pretty good so far. I mean, we're already half an hour in. I mean, I will say that I think the cinematography is very good.
Yeah, it's impressively shot. It looks great. I mean, a lot. It's easier to make films look good because of post production. But yeah, this looks better than the two Jolie films by a mile.
Yeah.
Also, like the sets as well. Like this set on the boat is really good.
Yeah.
Then I'll go and get myself 2 Oscars like this for that.
Even if you had a vote. 2. Second before you even left the heart. Experience cap. So what's in the other shoe?
Condoms.
Ooh, this is a very well made film.
June 23rd. They have found a piece to the puzzle.
I like the transitions.
Into the location of the tomb.
Yeah.
An elaborate door to keep her contained. Found a way to decipher the code.
I mean, it's interesting how driven she is in this film to find her father.
Yeah, and ultimately she discovers a lot she didn't know, and also she discovers what she can do. She's quite tough, and obviously that she was quite naive, and emotionally she's not quite there. But no, this film takes her on a pretty huge emotional journey.
Yeah.
Descend upon Himiko's final resting place, unleashing her scourge.
I mean, I think Alicia Vikander might be in her like early 30s or something like that, but she looks younger. Like,
Yeah, she looks great for her age.
I mean, yeah, Trinity. This is also the main, the main like bad guys in the reboot films.
I suppose their intention was to kind of make a trilogy of films that kind of led up to that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say about the new Tomb Raider games is that I think Trinity as an organization are quite dull. I prefer like the older, like sort of over the top villains. Like you had Marco Bartoli, he's like this Italian mafia cultist guy.
Marco Polo.
Yeah, Doctor Who. I mean, I think Tomb Raider benefits from like I prefer those sort of older villains from the series, but I mean Trinity's organization I find a bit kind of generic, but I mean I think the villain in this is good though. I mean I think Walton Goggins does a good job as the villain.
I think he's serviceable, but I don't think he's like anything amazing. He's kind of one of the weak links for me in this film. Why it's not perfect, but I just think he was underwritten. That was all.
I think the actor is really good. Like he's great in The Hateful Eight and stuff like that. I just think, yeah, he could have been written a bit better.
This is a good flashback when she's learning how to do archery. And interesting that I think that the new games focus more on using the bow and arrow, like making her more of a survivor, like a hardcore survivor, than like an action warrior, if that makes sense. You know, with the guns. Like, obviously, she had the guns, but like on all of the new games, you see on the front cover her with the bow and arrow pretty much most of the time, which I think is a interesting change from the original games.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, Lara Croft's trademark has always been dual pistols, but like the new games, her trademark now is kind of like the bow and arrow. I think this scene is this scene's good here, like the storm.
Iceberg right ahead.
There she blows.
She's gonna blow.
Davy Jones' ship just arrives. Tell me, Lara, do you fear death?
Davy Jones. The Kraken.
I mean, I would rather see a sequel to this than Indiana Jones. Just fuck off, Spielberg. I'm sorry, but no one wants an Indiana Jones. Like,
I mean,
I've already got it. It's called Tomb Raider.
At the rate Indiana Jones 5 is going, we won't get it till like the next century.
I mean, they should just scrap Indiana Jones 5, to be honest. Like,
Had its day.
yeah, I mean, it's not coming out now till 2020. Like,
Well, they said that it's been delayed to 2021.
oh, for God's sake, just may as well not bother.
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison Ford is in his 70s now. It's done. The franchise is over.
Yeah, he's way too old. He's way too old now to be doing this.
I mean, he'll be even older in 2021. Like, that's 3 years away. He'll be in his late 70s, and it'll be embarrassing. I do think this is a good scene here. This, like the scene where they're, you know, with the storm.
Leave the ship. The ship's gone. It is a bit of a cliche how the ships always have to hit the rock or the iceberg or something like that. But still, it's a good sequence.
Yeah.
That shot reminds me of King Kong. You know, in the 2005 King Kong, there's a moment when the ship is being kind of, the current's pulling the ship in, and then it hits the rock. That shot reminded me of Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing, but
Yeah. Can you imagine if she said, "I'll never let go, Lou Ren. I'll never let go."
never let go, Ray.
I mean, in the game, the ship gets wrecked at the very start of the 2013 game, and she's like shipwrecked on the island.
That would have been an interesting opening to the film. Maybe they could have shown a bit of this opening, and then cut back to the beginning, and then show everything leading up to that. But I mean, either way, it wouldn't have made much difference. But that would have been quite cool.
Yeah.
A good sequence, but the only thing that doesn't really work is the soundtrack. It just doesn't. There's just no impact from it, which is such a shame.
Yeah. Which I just wish they'd used the Tomb Raider soundtracks from the video games, because like the soundtracks from the video games are like they are they are good enough to be in the movies. Like, I mean, the soundtracks for the video game is definitely much better than the soundtrack here.
Oh yeah, and it's actually more emotional. It actually would fit with this movie. You know the da 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 da. It's really nice. It's a nice theme, and it would work with this film.
Yeah. And this scene's interesting where she wakes up.
We were introduced to the main villain, played by Walton Goggins. I can't actually remember the villain's name.
I know you're not a huge fan of the villain, but I think Walton Goggins gives a really good performance, like with the material he has. That he's quite creepy, like.
Yeah, he's a bit weird in this scene. The thing is, I kind of like how they immediately let you know that he's the villain. You know, there's no like plot twist or anything like that. They just tell you, they go, "Yeah, this guy's the villain." So I think that was quite good. But the character himself just doesn't really not much to him. He's just a guy who wants to raid the tomb. Yeah, that's it. But I will agree with you that the actor's performance is good.
Yeah. And it's interesting the way he just wants to get back to his wife and kids. Like, I mean, he is a bad guy, but at the same time, he doesn't really see himself as a bad guy. He just, he just works for the company, Trinity. He just wants to get home.
42 minutes. Bad so far.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
I mean, Alicia Vikander is looking fucking sexy as hell in that outfit.
Yeah. I won't disagree there. She's...
She could raid my too many day.
I'll have to raid her team first.
I mean, I think the problem, with the new games is that the villains in the new games just aren't very
Compelling.
just very plain. They're just kind of generic bad guy kind of thing. And I think if they went for a more over the top villain for this, like, well, more kind of, you know, over the top villain. Like maybe it would have worked better for this, but I still think Walton Goggins gives a good performance.
Yeah, it was a bit creepy how he was just touching her up. Ugh.
Yeah. The wife and kids.
Yeah, just as much he cares.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he? When she said "Where is he?" was she talking about her dad or Lou Ren?
Oh, it's her dad. He
But he's-
lies to her. I killed him.
Has her dad been missing 7 years?
I think so. Well, he's been looking for the tomb for 7 years.
This is interesting. She sees everything that the prison, then they turn it into a labor camp.
I mean, I'm annoyed that this didn't do better at the box office because this is, you know, I think the filmmaking here is actually quite good, and you know, I would have loved to see more films with her. I mean, like instead of flipping Indiana Jones, like nobody asked for that. Like crud.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want, you can use this analogy that Alicia Vikander is Indiana Jones.
Well, I mean, she is basically. That's what Lara Croft is, a female version of Indiana Jones.
Just in the more modern day. Whereas Indiana Jones is period set.
Indiana Jones is more of a rough and ready American hero. Lara Croft's more of a English lady.
Lady! Lady!
He managed to
Oh,
Caesar
she
was
found the
here
rent.
on the island.
She's a bit outnumbered. She seems to be the only girl.
I suppose men are better at labor.
Is Lou Ren American, or is he Chinese or Japanese or what? His accent confuses me.
I think he's Japanese, but he speaks an American English
Yeah.
accent.
Well, maybe it was just the actor's choice.
Yeah.
I do like the island that they shot this film on. Like the locations of it are very good.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he spent the budget with this film, which is good. I mean, this film to me feels more epic than the Angelina Jolie films.
I think it is on various scales. I mean, in terms of the practical scale, there's a lot of it's an action epic, and I think there's a lot more brutality in this Tomb Raider movie, which was in the games, whereas the Angelina Jolie ones, it was just action for for the sake of it. But there's also a sort of an epic emotional scale with it, which is why it attracts me. Which is what I was surprised at, how emotional it was. And it's interesting. I mean, even now, she's still struggling emotionally.
Yeah.
Getting back to work right now.
Guys are pricks.
He's sick, man.
He just shoots him.
What about his misery?
Very nice guy.
Yeah. Thank him for his hospitality.
Well, he definitely shoots to kill. He's got a view to a kill.
There's a view. This is quite a tense scene. I actually forgot about this scene completely.
Didn't kill her. I mean, I kind of like the fact that we see how much of a prick his character is. He's not a guy to be messed with.
Yeah. He just proved that.
Yeah. Go!
Go! Go! Let's see if
Uh-oh.
turn up. Go! I think, didn't she do a lot of her own stunts?
I think she might have, yeah. Oh.
Oh no, Lou Ren. Oh my god, that is... Whoa. It's very high.
He's as high as a kite.
Whoa! Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh. Feel the pain of that. I mean... For most of
she
it...
survived that.
Yeah. Amazing. In this film, Lara Croft is the walking wounded. She literally has injuries throughout the entirety of this film. You know, she's not a superwoman.
I'm not a Superman.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he doesn't kill Lou Ren.
I was thinking that just now, actually, yeah. I'm surprised he didn't kill him at all.
I think this scene is good. When she's going down the rapids.
Oh yeah, this was quite an iconic scene in the trailer. He jumps the plane.
This scene with the plane here kind of reminds me of that level in Uncharted 1 where you're climbing the old plane.
Yeah, I think there's elements of Uncharted scattered across this film. I mean, this is where the sort of the survival elements that come into this film. We're seeing her trying to physically survive all of these perils.
Oh.
Wow, it's impressive strength.
Yeah, I mean, this scene kind of reminds me of Uncharted 1 where that level where you're climbing the old U-boat or whatever it is.
Yeah. Baby steps.
She just died and that was the end of the film.
Yeah. Then I would agree with the critics and everyone else. But, oh, wow. What a jump.
wonder when this plane's from World War II.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, bless her. She's had a tough day.
She should have a reward.
No! I mean, she's not that heavy, surely.
She can never catch a break.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh shit.
Feel the sort of the tension of this film. Trying to survive all these perils. My God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, SpaghettiOs.
She sees a parachute.
Slowly. Slowly does it.
Nice and sleazy does it.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
Whoa. Imagine the parachute didn't work.
Well, it'll do for now.
I'm surprised that people didn't like this film, to be honest. Some people didn't like it. I don't get why.
Maybe they found it boring.
Or they're like, oh, it's a video game movie. Ugh.
Oh, oh my God, that is painful.
I remember that. I remember this in the game. Like you get things stuck in your stomach or stuck in your abdomen, and you have to pull out and like cauterize it. Oh,
Oh dear, oh dear.
bit of a splinter. Wreck like hell. Oh.
Oh, ouch. Forgot how brutal this film is. When you're alone in the jungle, you know, there's not much you can do to survive, to sort of...
I just started playing, welcome to the jungle! We got fun and games!
Great shots here, actually. On the beach, there's some of the best shots of the film. Her looking out to the horizon.
And she realizes it's all over.
Well, not quite. Could have been.
I'm the king of the swingers now, jungle VIP.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to fuck with you again.
Having a sleepy.
It's time to die. Halfway through the film now. It's been an interesting first hour, I'd have to say.
Yeah, been quite good. Oh fuck.
Ooh.
This scene is quite good, quite intense.
Who knows what he was going to do to her?
Oh, she's got some of that kickboxing skills.
Yeah, she knows how to kick ass. She's not exactly going to listen to you, dude.
Oh shit!
When you pin her down like that, you know. This is actually interesting because it's sort of the first time she sort of really does a cold kill. I would say.
The scene's quite intense when she joins in.
God, she's strong.
Shit, it's the first person she's ever killed.
That's gonna follow you around for the rest of your life.
I love the look on her face, like the realization, like shit, I've actually killed someone.
She's still emotionally quite vulnerable at this point. So killing, I mean, obviously she had to kill him because there's no other way, but wouldn't have been the advisable idea.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I love the jungle in this film. It looks great.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Hold on.
Oh, we've got to have that clip in the Andy Circus sketch.
Date in the Andy Circus. This is a very well-made film. I don't get the hate for it. It's good. It's not a masterpiece, but I think that it's pretty good.
I mean, I don't think it's hated. I mean, it's got like 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is it's pretty good.
Higher than most video game movies.
Yeah, most video game movies get like 20%.
And that's the good thing. Like most video game films are just kind of senseless with no story and with all action. This is the opposite. This is all story, less action, more focus on character drama, which I think is the right thing to do for this story because it's her origin story, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. He's like, oh, it's just an illusion. It'll go away. Ooh.
Oh, it's a lovely scene.
They've both seen better days.
Yeah. Oh, Sprout. This is a very emotional scene. I reunite.
He should cut his hair and get a shave.
Oh, she wanted her dad back for a long time.
Cauterize the wound.
Dad, don't do that.
Cauterizing it.
Well, he hasn't had much time to do well.
It isn't me, but her dad looks like Moses.
Yeah. What 10 commandments is he carrying to the mountain? Oh, hello, one viewer. I have a bet that it's Angel.
Yes. Check the live chat. I mean, I think I think the sets are just great, and the locations are really good as well.
They are actually surprisingly good, and it actually makes this film quite pleasant to watch. That you know it's not cheap.
Yeah. I mean, it would have sucked if it was like obvious, like they were filming this in like a forest or something like that, like a local park or something. Our dad's left her.
He's just popped out to the shops.
Going to his local spar.
Oh, he does shave.
Have a haircut. Ooh.
Time for some daddy-daughter drama.
I think I've seen Dominic West before, and I think he was in Johnny English Reborn as the bad guy.
He strikes me as a good actor. Well, I haven't seen a lot of his work, I must confess.
Cutting out his beard.
Neither.
Bloody fuck.
Oh, shit.
You stupid twat.
What the hell do you think you're playing at?
I've turned Scottish for some reason, don't get.
Get in my belly.
He looks like Mel Gibson with that hair from Braveheart.
If you take our lives, they will never take our freedom. Vogel, that's the guy's name. Ah, yeah. Now it makes sense. Oh no. Oh dear.
So our gun-toting psychopath finds some ancient remains.
Why does he want to unleash the curse?
I think they wanted to use it for blackmail. Trinity.
I'm assuming they want to take over the world.
You were safe. Trying to keep you safe.
Oh.
No way off, Laura.
Roko's got satellite phone. We keep X-ray reading the help.
Roko has an army.
The one who taught
Still way off, you stupid bitch.
You should have listened to me, you stupid fuck.
I am Derek Branning. I wonder if Derek Branning was Laura's dad.
Yeah. He'd be a much better villain.
I mean, it's taken its time, but I don't mind that.
Maybe that's why people had such a problem with it. They thought, oh, it's just boring and so. But this is good. I like it.
It's got a bow and arrow.
And now she looks like Lara Croft from the reboot games. With that bow and arrow, it just makes her Lara Croft.
All she needs is her backpack and dual-wield pistols.
She's gone back for Lou Ren.
Where's Kylo Ren, Lou?
Here's in the bathroom. You couldn't hold it in. Uh-oh.
Try the explosives again. Charge.
Oh, so he's the boss now, is he? Yeah.
She's the boss, bitch. Oh.
There's Lou Ren.
Kylo Ren just appears with his lightsaber.
you get the second. Then we'll find a way to kill him. Let's get out of here. Let's leave now.
I mean, maybe you should have brought a gun, Lara. That'll stand more of a chance against the machine gun. Oh.
Oh, nice one. Lou Ren's quite the pyrotechnic. This is awesome, actually. She's completely owning them with the bow and arrow. Like, this is a great action sequence.
The action is done well.
Shame about the music, but we can forgive that.
Forgive and forget.
Dad, oh Dad.
Shit.
Oh, he doesn't want to leave long. I think Lou Ren has got a bit. I mean, who was fucking hot?
Wouldn't want that sexy bitch to die.
Yeah, Rich. I don't know what you did to Steve daughter like that, but it worked. The rest. In a way, these two characters are kind of both cut from the same cloth, like because they're both just trying to protect their families, which kind of makes sense, really, to be honest.
Yeah. Seven years. Oh.
Hell.
You can already see that Laura's changed a bit. Like, even her dad is saying, "Look, just kill him."
Sacrificing one life is worth saving millions.
Oh. Nice direction here from Roar Uthaoug.
I just shoot him.
Take the bloody shot.
Shoot him with the arrow. Oh.
She does have some compassion. And I think she realizes that her compassion is her greatest weakness in this film, given, with everything with her father. So by the end of the film,
that's why the older Lara Croft in the Jolie films doesn't have much compassion.
Yeah, and I think that's also why by the end of this film, she becomes the sort of original Lara Croft that we know from the earlier games.
Which I actually think that's quite nice because kind of reminds me of the puzzles in the games.
In a way, there's sort of like the one main sort of puzzle scene in this film, but it's really well done, the whole colour puzzle thing. I like that.
Half of the door just was permanently sealed.
Open sesame!
Yeah, cinematography looks great.
And everything that happens in this cave till the end of the film is pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
No monkey business.
Lara's the king of the swingers, no, I jungle VIP.
Ooby doo, I want to be like you.
Oh, I want like you.
Sleep like you?
Talk like you too. Yeah, these scenes in the tomb are really good.
This is the scene where people go, "Oh, That's why it's called Tomb Raider.
I get it now.
If they didn't know any better.
Uh-oh. Set a trap off.
Oh my god. That was brutal.
We've seen a look on his face now that he's dead.
Well, obviously. Dad, I get through. Huh. Charming. Angel, if you're watching this, I'm just assuming that Angel is the one viewer.
And hello and goodbye.
I mean, if it's somebody else, then hello as well.
Sam Harrison.
Maybe, yeah. Baby steps.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Also tension built as well. There's so many suspenseful moments. And I think all of them are directed very well. Like this scene as well. I mean, of course, she's light. She's going to get across that. No problem. Here we get to the color puzzle.
This scene's quite good. Reminds me of the puzzles from the games.
With a lot of difficult ones in the games.
Yeah, there were some difficult ones, yeah.
Mmm.
Good
So,
puzzles nonetheless.
is this based off the first Tomb Raider game, like the first of the reboot? And
Yeah. But it's got, it is slight, the plot is very different, but it does borrow elements from the, remake.
So it's more of a homage than like a remake.
It's like, it's more like it's like its own separate film with elements of the remake.
It's amazing how they solved this so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, they had prayer wheels in Tomb Raider 2.
Ooh. Oh, shit.
Oh shit. Imagine she dropped it.
That would have been unfortunate.
She must die to bring back life. Come on!
You need them all. Blue and yellow make green, don't they? So green is the colour of life. So in goes the blue. There you go. I can sing a rainbow.
I can see clearly now the rainbow.
Somebody needs to brush up on their rainbows.
Oh, it's like our gay night.
Family, what was he?
The idiot?
Well, a flare will light the way, as they say. Oh yeah, I forgot he was in the movie.
He's waiting for them. About 30 minutes left.
I like all the stuff in the actual main tomb. That's all very interesting.
The sets are fantastic.
Especially these ones. Well, I think the architecture of all the Japanese influence is really cool, really sophisticated.
Yeah.
Sacrificing souls into suicide.
And the interesting, the whole story behind Himiko. Like she was the bringer of death and all this stuff.
It's all very depressing, isn't it?
Well, not as depressing as food fight.
Oh. God. We don't talk about that. It does not exist, ever.
Not depressing as Superman 4.
Again, a film which I have no idea what you're talking about because it does not exist.
Die another day?
Oh. Here we go. We've been waiting for this moment for...
It's been a lot longer since I saw this in the cinema.
Oh, she's seen better days.
She looks happy.
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a view.
I thought it was a room without a roof.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Do you imagine that the mummy arrived?
People who hate this film should look at The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and seriously reevaluate their opinions.
Or the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Oh yeah, oh god, that one is shit. Ugh. Green.
I mean, this kicks the ass out of Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Sacrificing one life is worth saving millions.
Wait! Sacrificing us.
Oh. Wakey, wakey.
Back this bitch up.
Uh-oh. Ew. It's a bit disgusting. Oh, that is nasty.
She was the carrier. She was me.
A chip suit.
Disease.
Oh shit. Disease. You think the disease would have died off after thousands of years?
Oh. That's strong. Just don't touch him.
Oh, fuck.
Just kill him. Put him out of his misery. He's gone.
I think the black guy becomes infected next.
Bye.
Good riddance to bad trash.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. You want to release a pandemic on the world, then be my guest.
Be my guest. Be my guest.
Silly Vogel. Silly, silly Vogel.
Vogel doesn't give a shit. I like the fact that she is her ice pick from the video games in this as well.
Ugh. Awesome.
Yeah. I shot him in the ass.
It's about time something happened to him. This is a pretty cool climax.
Yeah, the sets are great for this.
Where to go now?
All we have to do is walk out of here.
Well, if you wish.
Come on, Richard. Your daughter.
Huh.
Nice guy. black guy.
Uh-oh. I mean, as soon as I saw this, just kind of knew it's the end for Richard Croft. There's no hope of him living after this.
It's a shame he gets infected.
Come out wherever you are.
I'm over here. Doesn't want to play hide and seek.
With Lara Croft.
She's gonna have sex with that corpse.
Kick his ass.
If I was Brosnan with the corpse, he'd be sniffing it.
That's the only time she's ever like properly screamed in this film. Whoa.
He's dead. Imagine what another one of those spike things just came down and killed her.
You need to go after him.
Oh, let's go.
This is quite an emotional scene.
This is a good scene. Oh shit.
Touch me. You must stop her. Olivia, I'll bury him and come once and for all.
Something just about you.
Promise me you'll stop me. Promise me.
There must be another way.
We're very, very
She acts the scene very well.
There's no other way.
Oh. Her acting is really good in this scene. You're telling me. See, this film has such a nice emotional backlog to it. All of the stuff with her and her dad is a great relationship drama. Like, she's crying in this scene. Like, she's really giving it her all. I mean, Alicia Vikander, Oscar-winning actress, does a great job. And you know, for me, she has truly defined Lara Croft for the big screen. I would see her do another one, another film.
Yeah, I mean, Angelina Jolie was good, but I think Alicia Vikander is Lara Croft.
They do that at the end.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now get out of there.
He'll blow himself up.
This is awesome.
He's a suicide bomber.
No.
Vogel. Been shot in the arse.
Oh wow. Done. Dive on the ladder. I love this final fight with these two. How the ladder is able to stay on top.
Trinity is everywhere.
Trinity's everywhere. Oh, yes. In the box.
In the baby maker. Oh shit! She's like Zenyatta, squeezing him with his thighs.
Well, I don't think he enjoyed a good squeeze.
Yeah. He punched him in the bollocks. That must have hurt.
Kick him in the bit. No! Cheesy. Look out. Actually, the music in this scene is good. In the rest of the film, it doesn't really do anything.
Oh shit.
Whoa!
That's a suicide bomber.
Oh, ouch.
Seems quite intense.
Richard. Send my regards.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I like the flashbacks here.
Now that is what you call an explosion, Michael Bay.
Make him fucking eat the virus. Oh shit.
You messed with the wrong family.
Yep, you did.
In the face.
I'll give the film this. His death is pretty good. Very graphic.
Yeah.
Get out of the tomb, quick.
Flying jump.
Enormous sense of scale in this film. It's awesome as well, with the CGI and all the effects. I think it's great too.
Yeah. I mean, it is very impressive on a technical level as well. Run out of there!
Wow.
Running for her life? Whoa.
Many men went in, and Lara is the only one that comes out of the tomb.
Yes. She's dead. End of the movie.
Oh, Lou Ren, bless you. You tried, but she's gone.
Reminds me of 2m4 when the temple collapses in and Lara dies. Well, supposedly dies. Oh, she's alive. I'll never let go, Lou. I'll never let go.
Look at Lara. I mean, you know, she's really taken a beating in this film.
She's had a rough day.
Rough reception.
Her dad's dead. Back at square one. Oh. Oh, it's a helicopter.
Oh, so I guess it's a happy ending after all.
Ew. Imagine it was like Indiana Jones. Lara Croft, do you want to join Walmart?
Oh no, not that again. I can't stop that again. Blade Runner Hangout got out of control because of that.
Blade Runner geology.
And here we return to London when we come to the end of our film. When she
Yes.
finally signs for her father's assets. Oh, excuse me.
We find out Anna's a traitor's bitch. Anna's in pajamas. She's coming down the stairs. Yana, you are not alone.
It doesn't look like there'll be a sequel because I think it would have been great to see more of Kristen Scott Thomas's character and how she kind of formulates her plan to take over, essentially.
Hopefully there might be a sequel. I mean, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's a shame this didn't do better at the box office because I think it's the best 2m film and probably the best video game movie I've seen.
I agree. I mean, it's no masterpiece, but it's certainly fun, entertaining, and very grounded. And now we look at Lara and we see the Lara Croft.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
This is a great ending.
Let's put a product placement there for Volvo.
Order of Trinity. Ancient organization that seeks control over the supernatural.
Basically, her dad is saying to her in interior monologue, "Go and hunt down Trinity, kill these bastards."
Yeah. Patna.
Difficult to accept. The writing was coming inside newspapers. I
think you could stay talking to as you wish. The only person I get to talk to on the other end of this phone.
Shit, Rosanna.
The reveal has been revealed.
Oh shit.
Crofts, we have responsibilities.
Woo! Nice one. Good film, Tomb Raider.
Yeah. The scene.
Now she's a lot more cold. No, she doesn't give a shit about the guy.
The guns.
Can't be too careful these days because the world has gone bloody mad.
Yeah, the soundtrack isn't very good, but I like that ending.
Yeah. So that pretty much concludes it, guys. Sorry, we haven't been talking a huge amount in this one, but there's not really a huge amount to say with Tomb Raider. I mean, Jack, is there anything you want to say before we end?
Fuck off! Joking.
Anything positive to say?
No, I mean, I think we said a lot. I mean, we said enough anyway. I mean, we did say a lot anyway, but like you said, there wasn't a huge amount to talk about because it is Tomb Raider, so yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would personally love to see a couple of sequels with Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
I think this is a good, solid piece of filmmaking. Is it perfect? No. But is it bad? No. I don't understand the poor reviews this film and the poor financial takings that this film has gained. Because when the trailers came out, I was actually quite intrigued by the trailers, but it's just sad that that's not come to pass. But oh well, it's a shame. I mean, whatever happens, I'm thankful that we got to see Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft for this film. But I would like at least one more film with her. But I don't know if it's going to happen now, which is such a shame. I think this film works. I mean, it's a great piece of filmmaking. Alicia Vikander is Lara Croft. She is fantastic in this film. She carries this film. It really is her film. And I think the artistry is great. Like, the locations are brilliant. The acting is good. I mean, the pacing is a bit slow, yes, but it always keeps itself moving most of the time. Awesome action. And I think it's a different films. More of a survival movie. It's more of an emotional drama. It's got various things going for it, and it's now firmly in my collection. Don't know if you want to add anything to that, Jack.
Yes, yeah, I'd like to see a sequel as well. It'd be great if we did get a sequel. I don't know if that's going to happen now because of the box office. I mean, the reviews were pretty good. It's just that a lot of people just didn't bother to see it, to be honest. Probably because it's a video game movie, which I think is such a shame. Like, you know, people should just give it a chance, for God's sake. But
yeah. I mean, it's hands down the best. But, I mean, maybe that's not saying an awful lot, but film on a sort of a higher pedestal, really.
Yeah, I agree, and it's definitely the best Tomb Raider game as well.
Yeah, well, okay. So as the credits roll, I don't know why I'm hearing myself as an echo, but anyway. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening to our commentary. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the film Tomb Raider. I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, and stay tuned for future commentaries and hangouts. So until then, thank you guys for watching and listening. I'm Ollie. This is Jack. See ya.